Hello everybody, my name is Will, and welcome back. Today we have been given a key to a game. This game, Trade Tycoon. Tanks! In all caps, tanks. That means it's fit for this channel. And this game lets us design, build, and sell tanks that we like, I guess. I don't know. So ultimately, the goal is to take over the world, but instead of doing it as the country, you're doing it as the tank manufacturer, and you need to make good tanks to sell to the country so that they can win their wars. I think that's the general gist of it. We're going to start the game. This is not my first impressions. I have just played around a little bit so that I'm not basically running you through the tutorial. So I'm going to try run you through the first tank that I build, and then we'll probably do a couple where I skip through the boring bits and just get to the interesting bits, such as selling them, finalizing the designs, etc. Then hopefully you'll get an idea of whether you think this is a game worth your while. Now, full disclosure before we start, I've already said it, but I received this game for free, so therefore if you want to discredit my opinion, then feel free, that's up to you. Right, so first things first, we're hit with this massive lore dump, so if you want to read that, here it is now. There you go. I've scrolled through it. You can pause at different points. Get it. So there's 3 difficulties and a country at the top, which I assume eventually you'll be able to pick between, but for the purposes of right now, this is early access. There's only Great Britain, so old Blighty's gonna get a tank. Once we load in, we get asked to enter our name and our company name, so obviously Patch, and my company name is Patch and Bits Inc. So when you load in, you'll be greeted by this screen with a bunch of different buildings on them. At these different places, you can do different stuff, which is pretty self-explanatory based on the name of the building. Up here, we can find the news tab. We're going to get interesting things. There's a contracts tab. There are no contracts at the moment, but we're going to get a jump start on contracts because we know there are going to be some. And then there's achievements and stuff. So, first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our research bureau and we're going to try and get ourselves a little bit of an advantage on our competition, and we're going to get these improved high-pass running gears. This will unlock us a new track system for our tank, which will just make it a little bit more mobile than the competition. And then you can see over the research bureau, we have 15 days for this research to be done, so we're going to fast forward time and let that finish. So here we can also upgrade our facilities. So if we click on one, I've selected the production hall here, we can actually just upgrade any of these facilities. So what we're going to do here is we're going to upgrade the ergonomics office and just get ourselves some more workers working on each production line. And we got to be a little bit mindful of our funds here. We do only have 770k here, and tanks are expensive. Okay, our research is complete, so now we can go into our engineering bureau, go to our engineering lines, and you can see we now have the Centipede series of tracks, and we also have the Warhorse. But luckily for us, there's already one designed for Warhorse, so you can see that this thing is a slightly different visual model. We can go to the design bureau, and we're going to design our tank. So we're going to hit create design here, and we just get an empty hull with absolutely nothing on it. We can go through and pick an engine, pick our tracks, so we're going to have the new ones that we just researched, and then we can pick our sponsons. So in this case, we just have the male sponsons, which allow us to put naval guns on there, and these are our naval guns, some 6-pounder Hotchkiss guns, and then at the front, just a machine gun sticking out at the front. We also need to pick our crew, so we're going to go through here, and you can see on the right-hand side, as we put crew in this tank, it's going to fill our crew requirements. So I'm going to add a gunner, a commander, a driver. We're going to have 2 gunners, 2 loaders, and a mechanic. And then just to fill the remaining gap here, we're going to have a mechanic/loader. Sorry, a mechanic/gunner. And that is a pretty well fitted out crew. Now, there's a couple of exclamation points where they don't think that this tank is doing particularly well. So crew safety, crew aiming, crew awareness, and a lot of mobility based stuff. But yeah, this is a World War I tank. So ultimately, I'm not actually that surprised by that. We can pick expendables, so we can put extra ammo in, extra fuel in. We're not going to put this extra fuel in, though, because it gives us a -1 to crew safety. And we can also add camouflage. So we're just going to go with the default camouflage here, and then save our tank as, what should we call it? We're going to call it the Goblin Mark 1. And now we can assign our crew down here. So we got 30 crew members going to be working for 38 days. And if we hit assign, that is now going to be designing the tank for us. So we just have to wait out that time. And in the meantime, I'm going to get a bit of research done. So hopefully our next tank can be a little bit more advanced. Okay, so we just had a news pop up here that says we've got an administrator that we can hire. So if we go into the administration building here, what we can actually do is find him on the right-hand side here and see that he gives us different bonuses. So for assembly, he gets a 30% reduction to man hours. He increases worker per line by 50%, delivery time 10%, and supply time by 10%. So he's going to be very good on production and warehouse resources. So what we're going to do is we're going to hire him because it's only 3.5k a month, and then in 5 days we can assign him to one of our buildings and he's going to boost it. So, something I have just researched is this female sponsor, and as you can see, we don't have a default version of this to, put on our tank, so we're going to have to make our own. So we're going to call this the Mark 1 here, and just save that, and now we are going to have to put engineers on this, but at the moment, I can't, and I think I just don't have any free engineers currently. Okay, our design is done, so now we can go to our proving grounds and we can get it tested to see how well it's going to do, and that's going to take another 14 days, but in the meantime, we can actually go into test drive here, and we ourselves can drive out our tank. So we have to get 300 points on this proving ground, and we get those points by reaching objectives and destroying targets, so yeah, I mean, the driving is a little bit primitive in this, I can't lie, but given that this is a Tycoon game, this is quite a nice feature to actually have, where you can give your tank a go. So at the moment, obviously, this looks a lot like the Mark IV. That's just because in the early stages of the game, there's not a lot of options. So in this video, we're probably going to be relinquished to just World War I stuff. But if you guys like this game, if you want to see more of this, I'm happy to do like normal episodes on this, where we're not trying to run through everything, and we'll get a little bit more progress done per episode. So we can hopefully, in 2 or 3 videos' time, get ourselves up to the more unique designs of World War II, perhaps. Now, we got targets over there highlighted in red, so if we spray off with our machine gun here, we might be able to take one of those out, maybe even that one over there. Now, we can use our tank guns as well, but they can't aim all the way forwards. That's as far forwards as they can go there. So the machine gun's kind of ideal for infantry that are in front of us. Maze over here, and we are going to have a target over there that will spawn in any moment now, I'm sure. Hopefully. There we go, there it is, and we can take that out with one of our side cannons here. Just zoom in to make sure we got the aim down. There we go, not a problem. And we're making good time now. There's something over there. I think it's another heavy target, so we're going to get the big gun aimed at that. It's some kind of A7V looking thing, and that is just nowhere near where I wanted to shoot. Come on. There we go, that'll do. Another tank on the right. Gonna take that out without stopping. There we go. Look at that ruthless efficiency. 290 points, I believe, just reaching this objective will put us over. There we go. And that means we get some bonuses to our development and our repair phases here, which is pretty good. And we were given an exceptional performance. So there you go. We're building great tanks. Okay, our trials are completed on the Goblin, and now we can actually get our William Tritton here, which I'm going to assign to our production facility, to work on a production line of these tanks here. Now, I happen to know, a little birdie tells me, that we're going to need about 20 of these things. So we're going to start with a production line of a full 20, and that's going to take 66 days, and it's going to cost us the majority of our remaining funds. But hopefully, these are going to be good enough to win us this contract here. And here it is. We finally got through the first contract, and they want 20 tanks to equip a single battalion. And we have exactly 20 tanks in production right now, which is amazing. So we can go here, pick our tank, and that is going to be the Goblin Mark 1 here. Close that down, and you can see our success score is 352, which is not great, because if we go here, our competitors' offers are anywhere from 367 to 401. So in order to make this a little bit more endearing to the British government, we're going to cut the cost, because that's what the British government loves. Okay, so I've sliced the price down quite a lot, but I've left the deadline mostly far in the future with the hopes that we'll be good enough to get these tanks built and just sent out to them by the time of this contract expiring. But we just got to hope we get it first. So that's now in review, and we will get a news article in a couple days whether we get it or not. And there is a rival tank being released, not our contract news. And it was accepted. Great. Okay, so we've won the contract. We've now just got to actually submit the tanks, and we have 59 days to do so. Okay, production is complete on our 20 tanks, and we're going to go to our tank warehouse here, and we've got to get these shipped out to the delivery companies. So we've got to get them in by the 2nd of December here. These guys will deliver them by the 30th of November, which is pretty good, but that's just one tank at the moment. All 20 is definitely achievable by them. Right, we're going to sign the order. Send off the tanks, and now they're going to send off in 12 days, and if we go back to the main screen, we can see we've got 14 for the contract, so we should just get these in on time here. And there we go, contract complete, and you can see we have just jumped right back up to 700,000 from 200,000, so that's definitely paid off. We're going to have to bear in mind there will be more contracts like that coming up, so we got to get ahead of the times here, and we got to work on getting a new design ready for the next contract that's definitely going to blow their socks off. Okay, since we don't have any huge breakthroughs right now, what we're going to do is we're going to make an upgraded version, in inverted commas, where we add our female sponsons on the side here with the machine guns, because these are a lot better in terms of volume. Okay, so this design has a lot better in terms of crew requirements. We are also a lot better in terms of warnings. We've only got 4 things giving us warnings rather than roughly everything. So hopefully this is a lot more of a desirable tank. We're going to save this. We're going to assign our dudes to design that. And then we're going to get a couple built ready for if we get any more contracts coming in. And there we go. We have a war beginning here. We have a military campaign between the British Empire and Belgium. That's not exactly who I expected there to be a war between, but if we go to our global map here, we can see, so we've got Britain here, obviously, on the British Isles, and we have Belgium here. However, that wasn't Belgian territory. I believe that may have been, yep, down here. So we've got a battle occurring in the colonies, and it looks like we have a massive advantage and 20 Goblin Mark 1s on the British side. And look, there's a contract for 20 more tanks, which is very nice indeed. However, our Goblin Mark 2 isn't ready yet, so we're going to go with the Goblin Mark 1, or more thereof, and that shouldn't be too much of a problem. We should still be able to win this contract. Okay, here you can see we don't have enough resources, so we need to see how many we can build, which is, we can build 9 of these things, and I'm going to queue those up, but we're going to have to get some more resources. So we can go to our resources storage in the warehouse, select our tank. We can get the resources we need from North America, and that's not too overly expensive. Middle East is even cheaper, and they have what we need, so we're going to go with the Middle East, get our 11 tanks worth of materials from there, and that's going to take 12 days, so hopefully by the time that that is in, our 9 tanks aren't done yet, we're not wasting any time, and we can get building the remaining 11 immediately afterwards. And there we go, we did win our contract, so we're not building these tanks for absolutely nothing, and our resources are delayed, but that's not the end of the world, we should be okay. Okay, so the battle here, I've not got any of the goblins in. Oh, why wouldn't you bring the goblins in? That's just silly. Now, our design for the Mark II is done, so we're going to get that put through the trial range, and we'll also give it a quick test drive and see how much quicker we can smash the range this time. Okay, the mobility feels roughly similar, maybe a little quicker, but I think the real kicker here is we're going to be a lot better versus the soft targets and a lot worse versus the heavy targets. Well, so far so good, because we've not encountered anything with armor, and I've just hit a tree just as I said so far so good, but we do have the tank up here to worry about, and I'm not entirely sure if these machine guns can even kill it, so we'll do our best, but we may just have to leave this one. Okay, no, the machine guns are sufficient. Okay. And there we go, tank trials complete. Once again, exceptional, and this time we did it a little bit of a waypoint early, so there we go. It's better, I guess. Okay, here's the big one, I'm guessing. We have a military campaign between Germany and France. That doesn't tend to end well for anyone involved. Okay, production is done on our tanks. We have 12 days to get these shipped out to the customers. Now, I don't think we have any of those in stock. We only have the Goblin Mark 1s, so here we go. Oh, hang on. Wrong warehouse. There we go. 20 of these things. Now, these guys will get it there on the day, which isn't exactly great. These guys have high delivery safety. They do cost a lot, but they will get there 3 days early. I think it's probably worth the money just to make sure that we don't have any delays, because if we do, we're going to get fined a hell of a lot more than we're getting from this contract, really. So we have unlocked a new hull as well. This is an extended rhomboidal hull. This thing is looking pretty fancy. We got an on top we have an external communications unit. They're just some semaphores and then a big log on top, because that's cool. We're going to save this as the Mark 5 series hull Mark 1, and then we're going to get that engineered, and we may need new tracks for that one. I'm not sure if we can put our existing tracks on, but if we can, I'd love to get that done. And there we go, contract 2 done. We're back up to 600,000, and here we go. We have the battle which we were taking part in, which that's ended now, and Britain has won, which is nice. even if they didn't get the goblins involved. Okay, there is a third contract out for 20 tanks. Now, this could be a little bit tricky because our resource order has been delayed pretty badly from Oceania, and I'm not sure if we have enough to get people in. So we may need to actually just hold on this for a moment and see if we can upgrade our delivery speed. Okay, we have enough resources to build 10 of these things. So I think we're going to go for this contract now, because 10 is enough to make me confident. We're going to try, see if they like the Mark II. Now, they do... Oh, they want hard firepower, don't they? And that means the Mark I's the better tank for this. So, quick, we're going to rush. We're going to cancel. Got to cancel our order and get building the older tank, because our new one's useless. What a waste of time. I can only build 8 of these ones, but... well, we got to do what we got to do here. I'm worried our tank might be getting long in the tooth here, but we don't really have a choice. Our contract has been accepted. Our delivery should be here before these tanks are done being built. We have 75 days to get it all done. It might be nice to upgrade one of our facilities to get a few more tanks out the door a little bit quicker. Definitely need to start looking into getting a better tank with some heavy firepower, clearly, because... yeah, this isn't going great. Okay, we can put these existing tracks on the new hull. So I am going to design one. Oh, no. Wait. Oh, that's on top. Okay, that's fine. Armored cover on top. That's fine. We're going to have, I think, we'll go one female sponsor, maybe, and maybe one male. Or do we just go 2 males? Because that seems to be doing the best job at the moment. Yeah, that's probably the best option. We have one rear light machine gun, one front light machine gun. Seems good to me. Let's get the crew fitted out as well. Okay, so this is our Mark 5 tank. You can see we got the upgraded like communication system, top armor, a little view commander's port on the top. We took off the rear machine gun just to reduce our need for crew. So we're down 1 crew member, and you can see we've still got a fair number of warnings, but not too bad, all things considered, and a definite improvement over our Mark 1, which is still selling like hotcakes. Okay, new battles have been going on, and we have actually had a battle with the tanks involved. And here we go. Marvelous performance. The tank's overall excellence on the battlefield was a sight to behold, contributing to a resounding victory on the part of our forces. There we go. Other than recon, we seem to be doing pretty well here in actual combat, so that's what we like to hear. So I may have not noticed that my production ended, so we may have wasted a little bit of time. So what I've done is I've hired a lot more employees to try and get these tanks out of the door here. And hopefully, look at all these facilities we're filling. Hopefully, with all of these new facilities and these new employees, we can just about claw this one back. But it is going to be a little bit close because we need 4 of these things. It's going to take us 6 days. And what do we have left on the contract? We have 12. So it's going to be a little bit tight, but hopefully we'll be good. And there's our tanks done. And oh dear, there's some supplies coming in. I don't think that should be too much of a problem. We should be able to still get these tanks out. Now we've got to get these in by the 18th, and these guys will be able to do that. So hopefully, provided there's no errors in delivery here, we're not going to fail this contract by 1 day. So little bit close, but maybe we'll do it. And there we go. We have completed our contract. Oh, a little bit close, but, you know, it's good. And while I was doing that, we actually got the proving grounds done for the Mark V version 1 here. So that's pretty good, and we can start looking at building a couple of those for the next contract. And hopefully they'll do better, and then we will we'll just get these built and probably finish it once we do our next contract. And somehow I missed a new contract, but we do have our tanks for this, and as you can see, our success score is vastly improved with the Mark V over the Goblin Mark I. So what we're going to do is, because our competitors only have up to 408, we're going to whack the score down by increasing the price quite a lot, and I would actually quite like a little bit more time on this deadline. So we're going to try and find a nice middle ground here, and hopefully we should still win, but we have a vastly superior tank to our components. Competition, that's the word. So we should win this contract without too much trouble, and there we go. Indeed we do. So we just got to get this thing actually out the door, and before we do that, let's just give it a drive around the test range and see how much better this thing is. Here's our beefy boy. It's looking pretty good, I got to admit, and the speed of it definitely feels slightly better. I mean, it's minute improvements because we are still in World War I, but, you know, it's improvements. Okay, those are our targets already done. Our worst enemy, this small hill here. Can we crest it without too much trouble? Yeah, there we go. First time. That's surprisingly something I've never managed to do before, but you know what? That shows improvement. Firing angles on this front gun are quite a lot better on this hull. You can see we don't need to face ourselves to them quite as much anymore, so that's always nice. And we just need 5 more points, which hopefully we get from knocking out this tank, and there we go. Yep, donezo. And I mean, it wasn't that much of an improvement, really. And there we go. We have won the battle that we were having with Belgium and taken the territory. And that is the last of my tanks that I need to build for this contract. So in here, we just gotta deliver these guys over to the army and we should be good. We got like a month spare. What we're probably gonna do here is go for these really slow but very safe guys, and we should be good to get this place kind of wrapped up for today. It's going to take another 15 days for the tanks to deliver, and then we're going to get moolah. And there we go, contract complete, and we have $1 million in the bank thanks to that, because we obviously charged them out of the out the ass for that one, to be entirely frank. But that's where we're going to leave it for today with this game. So if I had to leave a little bit of a review, I'd say this is fairly promising for a very early access. I haven't really encountered any bugs, the frame rate seems fine. The UI is a little bit on the small side. It would be nice to have a little bit of a clearer visual interface, but you know, such is life. There are a lot of notifications. Luckily, you can actually turn some of these off, I believe, in the settings. So I think, yeah, you can filter out some of the news events if they do get a little bit spammy, which they definitely did. So you might want to do that if you do pick up this game. But I can't give you a release date yet. I don't know when it's coming out yet. But hopefully, if it does come out and this video has convinced you to get it, then that's great, isn't it? But anyway, if you enjoyed this one, please leave a like, comment, and or subscribe, and I'll see you in the future. Bye-bye! And as always, a huge thank you to this channel's patrons: Ambroise, CamJam135, Cody N, DG Pete's, Gavoon, Gamma7929, Sad Catcher, Schedule2611, Lash 11, Mark, Marlon Gwecken, McN Officially, Mildly Invested, Nicholas K, Rolsas Bucken, Ryan Brody, the Canesian Emperor, Worfsicle, Zerasheim, and Zeit Wolverine. Thank you so much for your support.